English.
Yes.
No, that way.
I know. Fan corner stop it up. Yes, Malta.
Go, that works, doesn't it?
Right, so
Cool.
I mean,
You want me to take you there?
I quite like it.
Yeah.
How much is that a night? What's it called? Hire car. I can put my case in a hire car, can't I? That's good.
See if they've got a car. Maybe closed, mate, because a lot of hire car places are closed.
Yeah, Merlin car. That's the way forward. I need a car anyway. So here we are. Oh, I can't call the 356 number, can I?
Why not?
It cost me a fucking fortune.
No, why ain't you got inclusive minutes, haven't you?
Huh?
Inclusive? I've got 100 minutes I can call Maltese numbers each month.
Yeah.
5 a month.
Yeah, I'll try this one.
Have you got a bolt on?
No, I've got Maltese numbers are really expensive no matter what fucking phone.
Absolutely, which is why I have a bolt on. It's a £5 a month on Vodafone.
Yeah, let me
100 minutes.
I haven't got that yet, but I'll use 3, don't worry, 3 of that. Three, 5, 6, 2, 1, 5, 7, 2, 3, 8, 0. Trying to mute that, dude. Good afternoon. Is that Merlin? Car Rentals Limited. Used to be Merlin. Is that right or not? Oh, wrong number. I need to rent a car. Where are you? In Bujiba. Okay. I don't know how I got your number, but what are you doing on a daily rental? Something like a 107 or something like that. How much? What you've got is what? Yeah, like a Peugeot 107, something like that. What you got? So, yeah, just one. No, I only need one. Yeah. Urgently, like today, now. No, at least 2 weeks, maybe a month more. I may extend it. I don't know, but at least 2 weeks. Yeah. Yeah, small is good in Malta. We both know that. Small is good. Okay. So what? Okay, so what you can do me for 2 weeks? Yep. 16? Well, that's a bit rich. Even EasyJet can do it for. No, yeah, I know, yeah. All right, I'm going to look at. Your excess is 0, yeah. Well, that's good, but yeah, €16 a day is up there. I can get those in England for less than that. All right, listen, I'm going to ring around. Well, I don't know. Avis did me one. Avis did me one for 2 months for £400. Try that. No. It's listen. We both I don't know. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to ring round anyway. All right. Thank you very much. Bye. Fucking 16 euros a day. He's having a laugh, isn't he?
Fucking insane there.
Let me have a look. Ah, here we are. Merlin. There we go. This is on the way back.
Oh.
It's open. Okay, so they're still there. Let's have a look at the. I've got to ring them up.
Do you think they're still in Tej?
They're in Hamrun. That's near here, isn't it?
It's not far.
But it's not. I'll show you where it is if they're in the same place. Let me see what I can do. You know where Gazan used to be?
Yeah.
Right, they were down there. Hi, is that Merlin Car Hire? Hello there. I used to rent cars from you many years ago, and I need to rent a car. Have you got something like a 107? That now I'm in a car looking for a rental car. Well, yes, I can do. Yeah. Okay. What do you do that on a daily rental? If I take it for 2 weeks, what can you do me for 2 weeks? $12 per day. Is that including insurance and everything? Okay, so so how many extra a day if you have two? So that becomes 14 a day, yeah? 14 euros a day. Can we do any better than that? What if I take it longer? Yeah. Okay, let me just now. Whereabouts are you? Just can you hold on a second? There it is. Look. No, it's Merlin Computers. Are you where you used to be years and years ago? Right. Yeah, that's right. I think I'm just there now. Actually, hang on a minute.
Merlin Car.
There it is. No, I mean my friend's got a vehicle. I just. Okay, that's fine. All right, that's great. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah, the door's open, mate.
Right, hang on a minute. You can't just drop me off here. You got to help me.
No, look, it's open. Yeah.
No, that's not the office, you tart.
No, there, Merlin Car Hire.
That's
there.
not the office.
It is the office.
It's not.
It is. It says Merlin Car Hire.
It's around the corner.
It's not. It's Merlin Car Hire there.
I'll take it for a month.
How much is it for a month?
€12 a day.
Oh, that's all right, isn't it?
Yeah. Right, come with me because I don't.
I'm not coming with you.
Oh, I'll sit here then, but I'm not getting my case out until I deal with it.
Right, I'll see you later.
eBay allows me to work from home and helps to spread my eco message far and wide with every sale. It's been wonderful to use eBay as the platform to get my products out there and have my own business.
Hey?
I need to get that TransferWise card out. You told me to put my money in TransferWise. I did, but I got the wrong card. I need to get the card out of my case.
Oh, I'll just take your case in.
Well, you've got to get your case.
She does know. She just told you how much it was.
No, she told me how much it was. But she doesn't know she's got one. She's going to deal with me in a minute.
Fucking awkward. I've got to go. I've got to go. What you doing now?
I'm waiting for her.
Why?
I can't make her go any faster than go. It's fucking Malta, mate.
I've got to go, mate. Seriously. I've got to go.
But if she sees the coach, she's not going to do a better deal, is she?
We'll just leave the cases here.
And then she knows I've got no choice.
Right, you've got 5 minutes and I've got to go, yeah?
All over. I keep finding little boxes of gin and tonic flavour after eights and strawberry flavour after eights. Do you know, only yesterday I had an after eight and I found myself thinking that truly is the taste of Christmas for me. And we never had them in the house except at Christmas. I think if Mum and Dad are having what we used to call a dinner party, I think they might have had after eights then, but there'd be none left. There's no way my sister and I would be allowed to have them before the dinner party, and then we'd come down the next morning, the days before dishwashers, and now I realise, looking back, that perhaps some wine had been taken by my parents and their friends. So the table would still be laden. You know, the big clear-up would happen the next morning. And we'd always go to... And the after eights are the cruelest mistress when it comes to minty chocolates. Because if people put the envelopes back in the box, and you're an 8-year-old boy with his 6-year-old sister snaffling around for leftovers the next morning, it's like something out of Dickens, this. Then that, at first glance, before you pick it up, the box can look half full. It's almost as bad as the time my Auntie Christine ate all the smoked cheese.
Ah, okay. I'll be back. Bye-bye.
And everybody's feeling a little bit better about the world. 12:37 is the time. I cited William Shatner appropriately, but I described William Shatner's intervention incorrectly. It wasn't the tariffs that were the problem. It was the EU forcing companies outside Europe to register for and collect VAT, which already exists more or less for digital sales. So we are outside the EU as of January the 1st, ergo dealing with us will be different than it was previously. 12:38 is the time. Alex is in Watford. Alex, fill your boots.
Hello, James.
Hello, mate.
I was going to wish you happy Christmas, but I don't know what I can wish you for the new year. Or have to wait and see.
I'll be happy just to still be here, Alex, I think, as things stand.
Tell me, James, didn't Harold Wilson say a week is a long time in politics? I mean, what are we worrying about? We've only got 11 days to go. That's no problem at all.
I'll have what you're on. Have you been at those gin and tonic after eights again? Have you?
They're lovely.
So I hear. I might try one after the show, if there's any left.
Look, help me through the wilderness. Dominic Cummings, what was that all about? What was that amateur dramatics about? He walked out number 10 with his box in his hand, walking down the road. Are you sure he's left number 10, the way Boris is acting?
Well, it shows that he didn't provide anything good or bad, would be the short conclusion, I guess, because I haven't really noticed any particular change in the quality of service since he slung his hook, have you?
No, and wasn't he in contempt of Parliament?
He was in contempt of Parliament, but then again, Boris Johnson prorogued the entire Parliament unlawfully and got Jacob Rees-Mogg to mislead the Queen. So, you know, it's a crowded field, Alex. It's a crowded field. But remember, everyone knew what they were voting for.
But Boris, he's playing a blinder, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, he called it out on Saturday, wasn't it?
Yes.
But after Parliament went into recess.
Yes.
Why on earth isn't Parliament being recalled today? Why aren't we discussing?
Well, do we need to? But the only reason you need to discuss it, and listen, I could be wrong on this. It wouldn't be the first time, despite popular belief. The only reason I've seen to call Parliament back is because people are still. You have this ERG rump who are still sceptical about lockdowns and closing businesses. Workings of the single market. I don't share that view necessarily.
But our Prime Minister announced to the world we've lost control of the second virus.
Yes.
You know, and surely
Then we could get proper questions. I'd be happy with a really good press conference, not rather than necessarily recalling Parliament. But I might be missing something there, Alex. It wouldn't be the first time. Thank you, mate. Oh, off and ready, dearly. James is in Lewisham. James, what would you like to say?
Hi there, James. I'd just like to say that it seems a bit premature to blame what's happening around Dover on Project Fear coming true when we haven't actually left the single market and the customs union yet. So our trading relationship with the EU has not actually changed yet.
No.
So you were blaming it on Project. You were saying this is Project Fear coming true.
No. I was talking to people like the Chief Executive of the Road Haulage Association, the Chairman of the Tenants Association of Covent Garden Market, former trade negotiators about what's going to happen next. You've got the wrong end of the stick there, Jim.
You did. No, you definitely.
So Brexit stockpiling has contributed to the queues because companies are so worried about what the trading arrangements will be come January that they've been trying to get more kit in, which is why Felixstowe, for example, has been almost impossible to berth that for the best part of a month. But you'll know that because you heard me explain it to you a month ago on this programme.
But how can we ensure?
Here you are still talking.
Sorry?
Here you are still talking.
I'm trying to say, how can we be sure that this is not like the stockpiling that happened before at the beginning of the lockdown?
Yes, well, what you need to do is you need to stop reading John Redwood's tweets and Charles Moore's newspaper columns and listen to the Chief Executive of the Road Haulage Association, James, and then your confusion will clear in a nanosecond.
Well, why don't we wait until we have actually left the single market and customs union before we set up all this thing?
And he's still talking. Because the Chief Executive of the Road Haulage Association, who has to represent his interests and explain to customers what the future is likely to look like, is doing a very good job of explaining to his country what the future is likely to look like. So, okay, James, before you go, what date do you think we should start reporting reality?
Clearly there's going to be some disruption when we do leave, but we shouldn't say the whole.
Forgive me, I'm not interested in your opinions unless you're the Chief Executive of the Road Haulage Association. I'm just wondering, in your strange little world, what day you think reality should be accurately reported on the radio?
I mean, if it's 6 months
Thursday?
Well, 6 months.
6 months, okay. Well, I'll ring you back then. Have a great day. It's 12:43. Scott's in Barcelona.
Hi there, James. How are you?
I'm all right, Scott. My patience, I think, is a work of art at times like this. What would you like to say?
I have left the country. I have bitten the bullet. You know, the government.
Well, shouldn't you have waited? Shouldn't you have waited 6 months?
I couldn't afford to wait. If I didn't get into Spain, before the Brexit transition, I may have had no benefit. I don't know what I'm going to get now, but I've had to give up my job. I'm in the process of selling my house, and I fled on the Eurotunnel because I couldn't even get on a flight because I had COVID 2 weeks before.
Oh my days! So you're settling now in Barcelona.
I'm 3 days in and I don't speak a word of Spanish, but I'm here.
I don't understand, Scott. What were you? Well, it's a bit of a rich question coming from me, but what were you so worried about?
I spent 4 years listening to you, unfortunately.
So I hope you haven't moved to Spain solely on my say-so. There must be a slightly more personal perspective that informed the decision.
I did meet a Spanish lady about 3 years ago.
There we go. Trying to blame it all on me. Honestly, you're just commitment phobic, and the final push over the line was the fears of what Brexit might mean for Great Britain.
I had never heard of Brexit until I started listening to a show about 4 years ago as a van driver, and I listened and listened and listened, and I just couldn't believe what I was hearing. And now we are here watching exactly what
Having listened for 4 years, can you think of anything I got wrong?
No, unfortunately not. No, I mean the only thing that we could have done different was to explain all the benefits of being in the union before we had a vote. But, that wasn't on the agenda, unfortunately.
No, and everyone bears responsibility.
They've done it. We're still part of the European Union. I mean, this is the first sort of style, but really, you've made your choice, and you need to live with it.
And those pesky French controlling their borders. You could have seen that coming. 12:45 is the time. Scott, hope to stay safe. Learn the language. Enjoy Barcelona.
Coming up at 1 on LBC, Sheila Fogarty.
The new variant of the coronavirus is without doubt a sting in the tail, with vaccination already underway. Now it's a straight head-to-head, injections or infections.
Sheila Fogarty on LBC.
Right now at your local co-op, save on a range of wines like a bottle of French Red for meal pairing for just £7 down from £10, so you can enjoy a glass with your perfectly cooked Christmas dinner and those extra crispy potatoes. Co-op, it's what we do. Subject to availability, see participating stores for details. Offer ends 1st of January 2021. Please drink responsibly.
Global Player is the official LBC app. Download it from your app store now for free. Go to globalplayer.com. Love your skin, love your hair, love your nails. Perfectil delivers nutritional support from within, including zinc to help you maintain normal skin, hair and nails. Perfectil, the science of beauty. From Vitabiotics, the UK's #1 vitamin company. From Boots, pharmacies and Vitabiotics.com.
Running a successful business comes with many different challenges, but right now the need for good business advice is more important than ever. At Barnes Roof Accountants, we are helping our clients adapt their business strategies by looking at the best ways to cope with both the immediate and long-term impact of COVID-19. To arrange a free consultation with one of our partners to find out how we can support you and your business, please visit barnesroof.com. Barnes Roof, clever accountants for business.
Hi, just dropping off a few presents for the kids.
A few? It's doorbell season, so get ready for all the festive deliveries coming your way with a Ring Video Doorbell.
Delivery, got a big one today.
Oh, great. Can you leave it round the back, please?
Ring lets you see, hear and speak to whoever's at your door from anywhere, right from your phone.
Hey, we just bought you a few things.
Be there for every moment with a Ring Video Doorbell. For great festive savings on selected devices, go to ring.com and major retailers today.
Whether you're starting your business
Or starting to get noticed.
spotting typos,
Or spotting trends.
making a difference,
Or making a deadline.
moving on up,
Or moving online.
sealing a deal,
Or sealing a leak.
reading the room.
Or your first 5-star review.
At Superscript, we know that business never stops.
So go all in with Superscript and leave the details to us.
Monthly business insurance shaped around you.
At Filippo Berio Olive Oil, our master blenders never stop until they find the perfect flavor worthy of our founder's signature that you will still see on every bottle. Filippo Berio, his signature, our promise. Find us at your supermarket today.
Unwrapping chocolate tree decorations. Rewrapping them, hoping nobody'll notice. Snowball fights. Fights with the sellotape. Putting out a glass of milk for Santa. And a wee nick for you.
This year it's the little things that will make Christmas, like the Samsung Galaxy S20 Plus 5G with a magical £400 off. Go online or in store. O2.
On select tariffs, £40 off device plan and £360 airtime discount based on 36-month contract and supply 5G where available. Find a present that brings lasting smiles and won't be regifted with Zing Flowers, festive bouquets, wreaths and extra special gifts. Amazing every time. At Trusted PPE, we're keeping our customers as safe as possible in more ways than one. So if you prefer to place an order in person instead of online, text SAFE to 66777 and we'll call you straight back. Order before 4 p.m. weekdays, the same day dispatch. Rated excellent on Trustpilot.
Pets in a Pickle have your pets covered with pet insurance policies as unique as they are. Visit petsinApickle.co.uk.
Leading Britain's conversation. LBC with James O'Brien.
12:49 is the time. You're listening to James O'Brien on LBC. Didn't Bill Bailey do that? Also, did you watch? Goodness me, that was good TV for the soul, wasn't it? And it's what a mover he is. I think he lives near me. I shall be sure to give him a cheery wave if I see him pirouetting down the high road. 10 to 1 is the time. Theo Usherwood is on the line. I don't remember summoning you, Theo. To what do we owe this unexpected? It's like this. Do you know what? This is like having an extra door on the advent calendar.
An extra door, thank you. I've never been described as that. James, Keir Starmer's been speaking. We haven't heard anything yet from the Prime Minister this morning as he's convened COBRA, the Government's Emergencies Committee, in response, of course, to the decision by the French and other countries to ban all travel from the UK into their respective countries. The French decision, of course, takes a different dimension because it includes freight as well for the next 48 hours. And the suggestion from Emmanuel Macron, the French president, that when the border does reopen for freight, anyone entering the country will need to have tested negative for, or show they've tested negative for COVID-19. We're expecting something.
Well, that's when our world-beating test and trace system will really come into its own then at that point.
Yeah, yes. So Boris Johnson is, we should be hearing from later on this afternoon at some point, but we have been hearing from the leader of the Labour Party, as I was saying, Sir Keir Starmer, who was scathing in his response to what he has termed as the Prime Minister's lack of action.
The virus is now out of control. International flights have been banned, international borders have been shut, and there's now severe disruption of British ports. Make no mistake, this is now a real emergency. I have faith in the British people to once again step up to the challenges, as they've done at every stage of the pandemic. But they expect the government to do the same. We can have no more over-promising and false hope, no more confused messages and slow decision-making. We need strong, clear and decisive leadership. The Prime Minister needs to be straight with people about precisely what's going on and precisely what he is going to do about it. He must address the nation today after this morning's Cobra meeting and then hold daily press conferences until the disruption has eased. I renew my pledge to act in the national interest, to help us through these dark and difficult days. We will support further restrictions where they're necessary. We will work with the government to help businesses get through the winter months. And we will offer constructive solutions to keep our NHS open.
Now, at the moment, James, we have no word about any decision to recall Parliament. Many Conservative MPs would like the Prime Minister and the Speaker of the House, Sir Lindsay Hoyle, to do exactly that so that they can vote on the new Tier 4 restrictions. But of course, if there was to be a vote, and that lends itself, of course, to what Keir Starmer was saying there, where he said he would support any decision in the national interest, it would most probably require Labour support in order to go through the House of Commons, hence why the Prime Minister, number 10, unlikely to recall Parliament in order to implement those measures, the latest measures, with MPs' approval. We have, for the government's part, heard from the Transport Secretary Grant Shapps this morning, who said there'd be no disruption to food and of course the vaccine in the short term. The government, I should add, has a plan its plan is, if necessary, to fly in the vaccine from Belgium using the RAF. That's its last contingency plan.
Starmer stepped up a bit, didn't he, over the weekend? Did a change in tone, a sort of change in approach, or not?
Yes, I do. I think that's right, James. I think he's focusing on trying to hone his attack on the Prime Minister's lack of leadership or potential absence. The Prime Minister, of course, held that press conference on Saturday. He wasn't around on Sunday. That was left to the Health Secretary, Matt Hancock, and we're expecting to hear from Boris Johnson later on today. But Keir Starmer trying to portray himself in a prime ministerial type figure, the sort of person who can be relied on, who's cool, calm-headed, can make the difficult decisions that people may not necessarily like in the short term, but in reality will always be needed. And he's trying to present himself as an alternative for the British people, for voters, to look at when they're turning to the government and potentially, in his view and in Labour Party's view, not seeing the type of leadership that Boris Johnson's detractors think is needed at this time, but is severely lacking.
And speaking of Boris Johnson's detractors, where is the greatest, is there unhappiness on the backbenches regarding the latest lockdown? People like Desmond Swain are popping up. Obviously I don't have the sound on in the studio, but I've seen his curious fizzog popping up on my telly with unerring regularity, which usually means that how can we put this nicely? A lot of rattles have been thrown out of a lot of prams.
Yes, so there's Sir Desmond Swain, there's Craig McKinley, the MP in Thanet, there are others, Sir David Amos.
And what exactly is their grievance?
The restrictions are an infringement on civil liberties.
Right.
MPs haven't been given the right to vote on the restriction on civil liberties that have been implemented by the Prime Minister. Of course, Tier 4 restrictions outside of London predominantly affect conservative constituencies, safe conservative constituencies, and many Tory MPs obviously affected. They think their view is that their mailbags and inboxes are being filled up with many of their voters, loyal voters, who have small businesses who are...
Although the public opinion is broadly in favour of the latest measures and the
You are, of course, quite right to point to the polls, which show that actually, while public opinion is not necessarily supportive of the government, the polls suggest, James, that actually they are supportive of the tougher restrictions, including the tougher restrictions on Tier 4, but also the decision to not reverse the restrictions over Christmas, or outside of Tier 4 to reverse the restrictions for a very limited period, just Christmas Day, for those in Tiers 1, 2 and 3. The public broadly supportive of that, although they're not supportive of the way the government has handled it and the lack of clarity and confusion, the in-out approach to lockdown restrictions that have so far taken place over the last 2 months or so.
I did big news here, actually. You might want to get this onto the news desk. Brian's been in touch. Say, hi James, I just dropped my wife off at High Wycombe Hospital and I bumped into Brexit hardman Steve Baker. He doesn't look that hard.
Oh right, did he challenge it?
No, I don't know. I hope not, frankly. Across the road. But it leads me to my final question, which is these curious characters who are still complaining about the lockdowns. Are any of them not Brexiteers, off the top of your head?
I think what is true is that some of it is obviously linked to Brexit, and people like Desmond Swain and David Amos both leave voting Conservative MPs. But what I would add to that is that there are those Conservative MPs who are worried about the restrictions, who were not front and centre of the European Research Group, were not front and centre of the Brexit movement.
Professionalism in a nutshell.
So we're not front and centre of the 2018-2019 moves against Theresa May's deal with the European Union and her criticism of Theresa May, but took a more measured approach to the whole Brexit question.
There we go.
Who are worried and concerned about the way in which Boris Johnson is handling this pandemic and the government's response to the pandemic, and are worried about the way the Conservative Party is being perceived by voters.
And you've just taken us up to the 12:59 with consummate professionalism, which is what we've come to expect from Theo Usherwood, who accepted a pizza delivery live on Eddie Mair's show last week on LBC. I don't know if you heard that. Speaking of consummate professionals, I'll be back tomorrow. Meanwhile, here's Sheila Ferguson.
You know what? I saw that coming last week. That was so. Thank you very much, James. Now then, there's a great lyric in a Prefab Sprouts song. It is, darling, it's a life of surprises. There's no help growing older or wiser. You don't have to pretend you're not crying. And my guess is that an awful lot of us are doing a bit of crying at the moment. I've been crying since March, to be honest, mostly on a daily basis. Don't know about you. So let's look at it all. Things changed quite dramatically, didn't they, over the weekend? So what will happen with the delivery of food supplies? We'll have the non-panic variety of that conversation. Will Parliament be recalled? When will we know if this variant is a threat to vaccines? Current thinking is it isn't. And are you a shielder? We'll talk about shielding in Tier 4. Back to square one. But can you do it this time around?
On your radio, on Global Player, and
Play LBC.
leading Britain's conversation. This is LBC.
From
From Global's newsroom at 1 o'clock, officials in France are working on a plan to ensure lorries coming to and from Britain can get underway again. Movement between the two countries was stopped last night to try to prevent the spread of a new strain of coronavirus found in southeast England, which is much easier to pass on. Retailers say Britain does have sufficient food stocks and there's no need for panic buying. Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer says Boris Johnson needs to set out a clear plan to deal with the situation.
The Prime Minister needs to be straight with people about precisely what's going on and precisely what he is going to do about it. He must address the nation today after this morning's Cobra meeting and then hold daily press conferences until the disruption has eased.
Sainsbury's is warning that if things don't get moving again, then fruit and vegetables could be missing from shelves in the days to come. But Mike Boyne from Birmingham Wholesale Market says other routes are being looked at.
The traders are telling me that they've got an alternate route now, which is going through Rotterdam and Hook of Holland and Harwich and that. So at the moment it's hard to tell, but I would imagine they will have some contingency plan.
From 5 continents have cut all passenger air travel ties with the UK. London's mayor has joined Scotland's First Minister in calling on the government to ask for the Brexit transition period to be extended. The current trading arrangements end on New Year's Eve and negotiations are continuing this week. Sadiq Khan says ministers' focus should be on sorting out the pandemic and issues at the border. The new strain of coronavirus has led to a lockdown in London, the southeast and the east of England. New guidance has just been published for people living in Tier 4 who are shielding. Ministers say clinically at-risk people shouldn't go to work even if they can't do their jobs from home. Part of Sir Philip Green's collapsed Arcadia retail empire has been sold for £23 million. City Chic is buying plus-size retailer Evans. In the city a short time ago, the FTSE 100 was down 132 points at 63.96. The pound buys $1.33 and €1.09.
LBC weather.
With Halls, help is at hand this winter.
Remaining cloudy and breezy this afternoon, with the rain easing in many places, although the south may see heavy spells. A high of 15. From Global's newsroom, I'm Tim Humphrey.
It could be your neighbour with the biggest decorations. It could be your boss, who's the best at Secret Santa. It could be your friend, who loves the cracker jokes. And this Christmas, it could be you. This Wednesday, the £15 million Lotto jackpot must be won. Or thousands of you will win a share of the jackpot. Play online or on the app. Lotto from the National Lottery. Your numbers make amazing happen. Account terms, rules and procedures apply. Players must be 16 or over.
This is LBC from Global, leading Britain's conversation with Sheila Fogarty.
Hello, good afternoon to you. There's lots of Sprout fans out there. I don't mean Brussels sprouts, I mean prefab Sprout fans out there. I opened the programme with a lyric from Protest Songs, the album Protest Songs, about life being full of surprises. Well, if we haven't learnt that this year, we never will we? This new variant of the coronavirus, which was first mentioned in any public sense anyway, I think by Matt Hancock, wasn't it, last week in the House of Commons. But it is without a doubt, since the press conference on Saturday, led by the Prime Minister and Professor Chris Whitty, Dr. Chris Whitty, it is the sting in the tail, just as we were not necessarily relaxing, but psychologically relaxing a little because of the arrival of the vaccinations. And again, you know, with all of the caveats included in that, which is that it will take a long time, probably half the year, to get sufficient people vaccinated as for us to really start to relax. But there's an awful lot to happen between now and then. Many a slip between cup and lip, as they say, between now and then. So let's just take stock, shall we? Whether it's the variant, whether it's France, whether it's travel restrictions against the UK, from the UK, whether it's shielding, whether it's food, whether it's what you need to do at Christmas. We'll all land on one or other of those things depending on our priorities in life. And you may have one that I haven't mentioned there that really is the focus of your mind and your family's concerns, your business's concerns perhaps as well. We can't underestimate the economic impact of all of this, moving huge swathes of the country and, the economic engine of the country in many senses into Tier 4. We can't really overstate that either. So whatever your priority is in that huge list of elements that we still have to grapple with until we've beaten this virus and found ourselves on a safer shore, then call me and tell me what it is. We're going to do lots of conversations with people as well as you, but do call, because we're going to make plenty of time for your calls as well. I'll focus on shielding, people who are shielding after 2 o'clock. So do call if that's you on 0345 6060 973. You can text 84850. You can tweet at LBC. What did the announcement on Saturday and the events that have flowed from it mean to you? What does it mean to you and your text 84850 or tweet at LBC. Ben Kent, BBC's Westminster correspondent, joins me. Ben, how did we get here? And where are we now, really, I suppose, is the question.
It depends who you ask, Sheila. The government says we got here after only about a week or so today. Warned about a new strain of the virus that is, what later emerged was much more contagious, it seems. That was only made clear to Boris Johnson, the government says, on Friday after a review by a part of the SAGE scientific committee called NervTag. It's a subcommittee of SAGE that looked at the data based on this new variant of COVID-19 and concluded, pretty worryingly, Sheila, that it's up to 70% more transmissible than the previous strain of the virus is. Now, to put that into context, we've talked a lot about the R number. SAGE NervTag concluded that the new strain of the virus could have an R number that is up to somewhere between 0.4 and 0.9 in addition to what already exists. So if R across the country is 0.9, that means the pandemic's slowing. This would effectively possibly double it to 1.8, which would mean that R is growing very fast. When he was presented with that data at Number 10 say, Boris Johnson immediately called together his senior team, a committee called COVID-O, and made the decision effectively that for about a third of the population of England, Sheila, Christmas would be cancelled. That is what we now call Tier 4, those people in Tier 4. But there are questions today for Number 10 that have just been put to them about whether it is really sensible that the other 2/3 of the population are still allowed to meet up, albeit now only on Christmas Day, still in groups of up to 3 households. That is a real concern, because when you look at the figures, and we heard from the scientists this morning just how serious this new variant is, it is pretty worrying. At the moment, that is going ahead, but I think nobody at this point, Sheila, would rule anything out.
That struck me as such a silly thing to not get rid of as well in the announcement, because it does suggest that the Prime Minister, and I may be doing, to be fair to him, I may be doing him a disservice here, because it may be that he just has, family life in mind here when he's saying this. But